So there's quite a few kind of really good memories from my time on program. It was one that stands out. It was towards the end of the program, and I think funding wasn't the best at that period. So I was kind of having to end to close and stuff like that. And he had a bit of money kind of left over, and he knew one of my hobbies, although I didn't get to do it that often because I didn't have the equipment and stuff, was fishing. So they give me a little bit of money to go around one of the shops in Swinton to buy some fishing rods, some bait, and just like little bits and bobs what I could kind of get started with. And they took me fishing with a group, like a few other young people. And I didn't know that equipment was mine. I was ready to hand it over and he was like, no, it's yours. So stuff like that for someone who's like, what, 14, from that point on, every weekend I was like, I'd get a couple of quid off my mum to go to the shop, get some maggots and stuff, and then I'd use the rods, what they give me. So yeah, that was probably one standout memory. I think it's just a good way to end everything. And it was a shame really as well, because I was in such a good place, or getting to a really good place as well, really because of like budget cuts, not enough funding for programs, because let's be honest, it's quite expensive to run the programs you run as well. So me being able to go fishing every weekend, you know, there's like 7 or 8 hours, I'm going home knackered, going straight to bed. It helped massively to stay away from the pressures of hanging around street corners, kind of to old kind of contact to like old friends we used to hang about with, who were still kind of getting up to no good and would have had a negative influence going forward, because I think what they drummed into me as well is that I did have convictions now, and anything I do kind of on that level will have quite severe consequences. But that information isn't enough if you don't have a pathway out of program, if you don't have a hobby to go into, if you don't have something to take, you know, free up your time basically. So me being with on my own or with a couple of friends was my way of escaping certain things. So that's probably the highlight of my time on program, because I was able to stay away from certain things and certain pressures, because just someone spent a couple quid on a few fishing rods for me, and give me just an opportunity to do something on the weekends. So every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, that was me down the road fishing. So I wasn't hanging about with certain people or wasn't getting up to certain things. So yeah, so it was all positive.